Hey, everybody. It's your lovely Lotus Blossom Lizzie. And today we are going to be creating and playing in the junk journal today. And this is my junk journal, my narrative. And I always love sharing what I'm doing inside of this journal with you in hopes to give you some ideas for your junk journal as well. So I hope that's happening for you. You can always leave a comment below and let me know if you are getting some fantastic junk journaling ideas from these junk journaling process videos. Now, what I am doing here is I am not really fussy cutting, but fussy ripping around some flowers. And this is some vellum from a page that I copied from a Daphne's Diary book. And at first I was going to copy this on regular paper, but I decided to just put it on some vellum, and I love the effect that it has. And so I'm going to put up a copy of this page up on the Patreon page, and I'm not selling it. I'm just sharing with you all. Okay? Because I am a sharer. I love sharing. I also wanted to invite you, if you love junk journaling like we do, then you want to make sure that you subscribe below and also hit the notification button so that you'll be notified when more videos like this one come out. And you can also head over to the Patreon channel where there's more exclusive content, and also, hint, hint, my Patreons have already seen this video, so you'll get exclusive early access to videos that I post here on the channel as well. And that's over at patreon.com/Liz for a day. So as you can see, the stick glue worked perfectly, and although there is just a ton of stuff going on this page, I decided that I wanted to put the flowers on the front too. I couldn't help myself, okay? And it looks beautiful, and to the untrained eye, you can barely see it. But to me, I can see the flowers, and that's what counts. So now I'm taking some calculator tape, and this calculator tape is already kind of brown. It was old. I've had it for eons, and now I've been using it to make some journaling spots. So I just took out one of my stamp sets and just did some stamping, and then I went around the edges of this little ripped up paper and kind of made it look quite vintagey. And I really love the way they came out. So I've been using several of these in the book, which you will see in a few moments, to just do a spot of journaling on, and then I just paste it down to the page, and I love the effect that it has. Now, I know I didn't have to use too much vintage photo on here. This is the Tim Holtz Distress ink, just a little bit, because my calculator tape was already kind of brown, so I only just needed a little bit to kind of give it that feel. So now I'm just making sure that these pieces will fit in here. One I'm going to go ahead and journal on, and the other one, I think I'm going to put that away for later, because y'all know I have like a little envelope that I keep extra pieces in, so when I'm ready to do some journaling, I can just write it out and glue it down onto the pages. I also love using my Sharpie fine tips to do my journaling on. Those are kind of like my go-tos right now. They write on everything, and I just like the way they look. So you can see I have lots of these little calculator tapes with, embellished a little bit with some of the stamps. Now I have another piece that came from that vellum, and I'm trying to figure out what I want to do with these. I didn't want to throw them away, even though the words here pertain to some different flowers than I'm actually going to be using on this page. So that's a little bit of a hint to what's to come here. So I'm looking in my folder here, and just to pull out a few pieces that I want to use, because when I am doing these sessions, I never know exactly what I'm going to use until I really start going through the pages and That's when my creativity starts to flow. Sometimes it's hard to kind of look at a page and say, I'm going to do exactly this on here. That doesn't really work out for me. Does that work out for you? How does your junk journaling flow work? Do you just start like I do and kind of let the page talk to you? Or do you kind of plan things out before you get started? I think a lot of scrapbookers do that. They kind of plan things out before they actually commit. And that's okay too. I am not judgy, all right? I'm not judging at all. Now, I took out some of these linens that I printed, and these are not up in the shop yet, but they are a coming. So, if you're interested in getting some digitals of some linens, some nice fresh ones, then you can head over to pleasantcreations.com, favorite the shop, and then you'll know when these come out. But in the meantime, you can always do a little junk journal shopping over there as well, and that helps support the channel as well. All right, so I'm taking some botanicals that I got out of a book, and I'm going to put them down. And again, I already gave you a bit of a spoiler alert. The actual words that I'm putting on here are paragraphs. These are for some different types of flowers, but I just like the way they looked. So I put it in my book because I didn't want to throw it away, okay? So you always want to try to use as much of the material as you can. So now I have these pieces of vellum again, some scraps, and I'm just going to get one of my stamps out and I'm going to stamp on that scrap because y'all, vellum is like a precious commodity. And I knew that I could use those little scraps as well. Like when you look at them, they just look like trash, but I didn't feel like it was trash at all. So I took those pieces and I gave them a new life because that's what you should do with your stuff. Give it a new life and put it in your junk journal. And it really adds to, all the different textures and patterns and things that I have in the book. But I didn't really know where I wanted to put it at. And I've always mentioned this before. Sometimes I don't always just work on one page when I am creating. Sometimes I just take one little piece of ephemera here and put it down on a page and then go to another page and do the same thing. Because I'm not really ready to just go all in on certain pages. So I finally found a spot that I wanted to use these two pieces. And I didn't know what else was going to go on this page, but as you can see me, I'm kind of just fiddling around trying to figure out where these are going to look good at. And in my mind, I'm saying, okay, Liz, okay, you can go ahead and commit now. Go ahead and glue these pieces down. I think they'll be fine on this page because, I have a lot more junk to put in my junk journal. So I could actually stamp some more vellum if I wanted to and put them on some different pages. So I still had this one little piece left and I was still trying to figure out what the heck I was going to do with it. I didn't know. So I decided to move on and I did these pages on a different video and I still needed to do a little bit of journaling. So I wanted to go ahead and do my journaling on this page, and basically I just talked about tofu on this page and how it is kind of it's one of those flavors, it's one of those things that you have to have like a taste for. And you have to know how to cook it because if it's not cooked right, then you won't definitely like tofu. But I always get the sofritas at Chili's, and not at Chili's, but at Chipotle's. And the sofritas are made of tofu, and I love, love, love the sofritas. And I also make lots of tofu here at home. I do baked tofu and fried tofu and just all kinds of things. You can eat it raw. And like I said, I know some people kind of run for the hills when you say tofu, but I really love tofu, so I wanted to write about it. Can y'all believe that? Who writes about tofu in their journals? Me. I write. And I decided to use my orange Sharpie pen because I wanted the writing to kind of jump off the pages. Now, these little pieces that I'm writing on, they've been sitting in my book for a little bit, and the only thing that I did was I cut the shape down and then I sewed around the edges of them with the whippersnapper. I know it's hard to see, but you'll see some close-up photos as well. You can see it as I'm gluing. And then these were ready for me to journal. So, a great idea or a fantastic idea when you're junk journaling, if you can't think of anything to say, then save it for later. And you can do some prepared kind of journal spots like I did on some scrap pieces of paper. And once you do that, everything just looks absolutely lovely once you get finished. Now, I'm taking some letters because I have like 1,250,062 and a half letters, and I wanted to put those down. And I'm just spelling eat here. I'm just trying to find some creative ways to kind of use those letters. And then I also had like these kitty stickers that I've had since the beginning of time, y'all. I didn't buy those for my grandkids. Nope. I bought those for myself. But I never use them. So I was like, let me just take some out. And at first, when I took them out, I was thinking, I don't know how this is going to work out because I didn't want the pages to just totally go, to kindergarten mode. But I really liked the way they came out, and it kind of inspired me to use my stickers. So y'all steal your kids' stickers so you can put them in your junk journals. So here's some photos, some close-up photos of the processes that were in this video. And I hope you all enjoyed it. I would love to know, what is your favorite part of this whole processing video? I think mine's is the journal spots on the particular pages for about tofu. Let's put it that way. So remember, you can head over to Pleasant Creations at pleasantcreations.com and nab yourself some junk journals or junk journal supplies. You can head over to Patreon at patreon.com/LizForAday and get some exclusive content, or you can subscribe here and don't forget to leave a thumbs up. So with that, I'm going to say love, peace, and hair grease from your sweet lotus blossom and lovable Lizzie. Have a fantabulous day and enjoy life.